Last month, a 68-year-old woman flying out of Dallas-Fort Worth had every single one of her medications taken away at the TSA checkpoint. Every single one. Her blood pressure pills, her insulin, her anxiety medication, all gone. She wasn't smuggling anything, she wasn't carrying illegal drugs, she just packed them wrong. And here's the part that should worry you. She did what most of us do. She put her pills in one of those weekly pill organizers, tossed them in her carry-on, and headed to the airport, something she'd done 100 times before. But in 2026, TSA screening technology has changed. The way they look at your bag has changed, and the rules about how medications need to be packed, labeled, and declared have gotten stricter. And most travelers, especially those of us over 60 who take multiple medications, have absolutely no idea. In this video, I'm going to show you the 7 medications that are getting flagged, pulled, and confiscated at TSA checkpoints right now. And more importantly, I'm going to give you the exact steps to protect every single pill, liquid, and injectable so that not one thing gets taken from you. And I need you to stay until the end, because number 7 is the one that catches the most seniors, and the fix only takes 30 seconds. So sit back and relax, hit that like button, and let's get into it. Now, before we get to the 7 medications, I need you to understand why this is happening now, because it wasn't always like this. For years, TSA screening was, let's call it, good enough. The X-ray machines showed a flat, 2-dimensional image of your bag. An officer would glance at the screen, see some shapes, and unless something looked obviously suspicious, you went through with no problem. Your pill organizer was just a blob on the screen. Your liquid medication was mixed in with your shampoo. And the best part was, nobody cared. That's all over. Starting in 2025 and expanding aggressively in 2026, TSA has rolled out computed tomography scanners, basically CT scanners like the ones at a hospital, to over 600 airports. These machines create a 3D image of your bag, they can spin it around, they can isolate individual items inside your luggage, they can measure the density of liquids, identify powders, and flag anything that doesn't match a known safe profile. What that means for you is that pill organizer full of loose, mixed pills with no labels. Well, the CT scanner sees it, flags it as unidentified substances, and now a TSA officer has to open your bag and figure out what each pill is. And if they can't identify it, or if you can't prove what it is, they have the authority to confiscate it. It's not that TSA made your medication illegal, it's that the technology now sees your medication in a way it never did before. And if you're not prepared, you're going to have a very bad day at the airport. So here are the 7 medications getting confiscated, and exactly how to protect yourself. Let's start with the one that surprises people the most, because this isn't even a prescription drug. Ibuprofen, Tylenol, aspirin, naproxen, the stuff in your medicine cabinet right now. Here's the problem. Many seniors, and I say this with love because I know you're practical people, will buy a big bottle of 500 ibuprofen from Costco, dump a bunch of them into a Ziploc bag or a pill organizer, and toss it in their carry-on. You've been doing it for years, and it was never a problem before. In 2026, it's a problem. And here's why. When the CT scanner sees a large quantity of loose, unidentified pills in a bag, especially white or off-white tablets, without any identifiable markings visible on screen, it flags them. The officer pulls your bag, they open it, they see a Ziploc full of white pills with no label. Now, you and I know those are ibuprofen, but the TSA officer doesn't know that, and their job isn't to guess. Their job is to err on the side of caution. The fix is embarrassingly simple. Keep your over-the-counter medication in the original, labeled bottle. That's it. Don't transfer them to baggies, don't dump them into a pill organizer with 6 other medications. If the bottle is too big to travel with, buy a travel-sized bottle of 24 or 50 pills from the drugstore for $3. That $3 bottle could save you a 45-minute delay at security, or worse, losing your entire supply for the trip. And if you absolutely must use a pill organizer, I know some of you need them for managing multiple medications throughout the day. I'm going to give you the exact workaround at the end of this video, so stay with me. Now, the next one on the list is the medication that's causing the most confiscations at international customs in 2026. And if you're traveling outside the United States, this could land you in a foreign jail. This is not an exaggeration. Let me explain. If you take hydrocodone, oxycodone, codeine, tramadol, or morphine, this section is for you. And I'm going to be very direct because the stakes are high. Inside the United States, you can fly with prescription opioids. TSA does not have a problem with it, as long as you follow basic rules, which I'll give you in a moment. But the second you leave the United States, everything changes. And I mean everything. Many countries classify these medications as controlled narcotics. Japan, for example, will not let you bring codeine into the country. It doesn't matter that your doctor prescribed it. It doesn't matter that you have a legitimate medical need. In Japan, codeine is classified under their Stimulants Control Act. If customs finds it in your bag, you will be detained. You could face criminal charges. The United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, has some of the strictest drug laws in the world. Tramadol, which millions of Americans take for chronic pain, is a controlled substance in the UAE. People have been arrested at the Dubai airport for carrying it. Other countries like Greece, Turkey, Indonesia, and Singapore all have their own lists of banned or controlled medications that include common American prescriptions. Here's what you need to do if you're traveling internationally with opioid painkillers. First, carry your medication in the original pharmacy bottle with the prescription label that shows your name, the prescribing doctor, the pharmacy, and the dosage. This is your first line of defense. Second, carry a letter from your prescribing doctor. The letter should state your name, the medication, the dosage, why you need it, and that it is medically necessary. Ideally, this letter should be on the doctor's official letterhead. Third, and this is the step nobody does, check the specific drug laws of every country you're visiting. Not just your final destination, your layover countries too. If your flight connects through Dubai on the way to India, Dubai's drug laws apply to you during that layover. The US Embassy website for each country lists medication restrictions. Check it, print it, and carry it with you. The 5 minutes it takes to do this could keep you out of a foreign detention facility. If you or someone you know takes prescription pain medication and is planning international travel this year, do me a favor. Share this video with them right now, before they get to the airport, before they get to customs. This information could genuinely keep someone out of serious trouble. This is the rule that TSA actually allows an exception for, but almost nobody knows about the exception. And that's the problem. You've heard of the 311 rule. Liquids in your carry-on have to be 3.4 ounces or less in a 1-quart clear bag. That rule applies to shampoo, toothpaste, hand lotion, and every other regular liquid you carry. But here's what most people don't know. Medically necessary liquids are exempt from the 311 rule. Let me say that again. If you have a liquid medication that's medically necessary, I'm talking about cough syrup, liquid antibiotics, eye drops, saline solution, liquid vitamins, even medicated creams and gels, you can carry more than 3.4 ounces in your carry-on. TSA explicitly allows this. So why are liquid medications getting confiscated? Because people don't declare them. The rule says you can bring medically necessary liquids in excess of 3.4 ounces, but you must declare them to the TSA officer at the start of the screening process before your bag goes through the scanner, not after they've already flagged it. Not when they're holding your bottle of cough syrup and asking what it is. Here's the exact phrase I want you to memorize. I call it the 30-second declaration. When you approach the screening area, you say to the TSA officer, "I have medically necessary liquids in my carry-on bag." Those 10 words change everything. The officer will note it, your bag will be screened with that context, and the liquid will be subjected to a secondary test, usually just a quick swab, and you're on your way. Without those 10 words, the CT scanner flags an unidentified liquid over 3.4 ounces. An officer pulls your bag, and now you're in a conversation where you're defending your medication instead of boarding your plane. One more thing, TSA does not require that your liquid medications be in the 1-quart Ziploc bag. Separate them from your regular toiletries. Put them in a clear pouch or bag of their own, on top of your carry-on, where they're easy to access and present to the officer. Make their job easy, and they'll make your life easy. Alright, the next 2 medications are the ones I get the most questions about. One is legal in your state, but could still be confiscated at the airport. And the other is a medication that millions of seniors use every single day, and almost everyone packs it wrong. This one is a minefield. And I need to be very precise here because the rules are confusing on purpose, or at least it feels that way. Here's the current reality in 2026. CBD products that are derived from hemp and contain less than 0.3% THC are federally legal in the United States. TSA has confirmed they will allow these products through security checkpoints. This includes CBD oil, CBD gummies, CBD cream, and CBD capsules as long as they meet that 0.3% THC threshold. So far, so good, sounds simple, right? Here's where it gets messy. Problem number 1, TSA officers are not chemists. They cannot test the THC content of your CBD oil at the security checkpoint. If a product is flagged, the officer has to make a judgment call based on the packaging and labeling. If your CBD oil doesn't clearly state that it's hemp-derived and contains less than 0.3% THC on the label, you have a problem. If you bought it from a farmer's market with a handwritten label, you have a bigger problem. Problem number 2. If TSA suspects ANY product contains marijuana or has more than 0.3% THC, why? They are required by federal policy to refer the matter to law enforcement. That's not a TSA discretion call, it's mandatory. And now you're not just delayed at security, you're talking to the police. Problem number 3. Even if your CBD is perfectly legal federally, some states still have their own restrictions. And if you're flying internationally, forget it. Most countries classify all cannabis products, including CBD, as controlled substances. Japan, the UAE, Russia, many countries in Southeast Asia, they don't care about your 0.3% threshold. CBD is CBD and it's illegal. My advice for seniors who use CBD, if you're flying domestically, make sure your product has clear labeling from a reputable brand that states hemp-derived and less than 0.3% THC. Keep it in its original packaging. If your product is a liquid or oil, follow the liquid declaration rules I just gave you. If you're flying internationally, and I know this isn't what you want to hear, leave it at home. It's not worth the risk. Talk to your doctor about a travel-safe alternative for the duration of your trip. If you're diabetic, if you use blood thinners, if you carry an EpiPen for allergic reactions, listen closely. Here's the good news first. TSA explicitly allows needles, syringes, and injectable medications through security when they are accompanied by the medication they're used for. Insulin, epinephrine, autoinjectors, injectable blood thinners like Luvenox are all allowed in carry-on bags. Here's where seniors get tripped up. Mistake number 1, packing needles in checked luggage. Do not do this. If you're diabetic and you pack your insulin in your carry-on but put your syringes in your checked bag, to avoid problems at security, you've just separated yourself from the supplies you need to use your medication. If your checked bag is delayed or lost, and roughly 26 million bags were mishandled by airlines in 2024, you now have insulin and no way to take it. Everything goes in the carry-on: insulin, syringes, needles, alcohol swabs, glucose meter, all of it, together. Mistake number 2, not declaring your supplies up front. Same principle as the liquids. When you approach the screening area, tell the officer, I have medical supplies, including needles and injectable medication in my carry-on. They will handle it with that context. Without that declaration, the CT scanner sees a sharp metal object in your bag and flags it. An officer pulls your bag, opens it, and finds loose needles. Not a great first impression. Mistake number 3, not carrying your prescription. Technically, TSA says you don't need a prescription to carry needles and syringes if they're accompanied by medication. But technically and practically are two different things. I always recommend carrying a copy of your prescription or a doctor's note, especially if you're carrying a large supply for a long trip. The 2 minutes it takes your doctor's office to print that letter could save you a very stressful encounter at the airport. And here's a pro tip specifically for insulin users. Insulin does not need to go in the 1-quart bag, and it does not have to be under 3.4 ounces. TSA allows insulin in any form: vials, pre-filled pens, pumps, in reasonable quantities for your trip, but you must declare it. Quick favor, if you've made it this far, you're clearly someone who takes their travel preparation seriously. Hit that like button. It's free, it takes 1 second, and it helps this video reach more travelers who need this information. I appreciate every single one of you. This one catches a lot of seniors by surprise because you're not trying to sneak anything through, you're just bringing your daily supplements. Here's the rule. TSA requires that any powder-like substance over 12 ounces, that's about 350 milliliters, must be placed in a separate bin for additional X-ray screening. If the powder can't be identified through the X-ray, it may be subject to additional testing. And if it still can't be identified, it may not be permitted through the checkpoint. Now, what counts as a powder-like substance? More than you'd think. Powdered fiber supplements like Metamucil, powdered vitamin packets, protein powder, powdered electrolyte mixes, powdered probiotics, ground medications that come in powder form. Even some crushed tablets and a pill organizer could technically fall under this category. And here's the problem. Seniors tend to be the most responsible supplement takers on the planet. You've got your fiber, your calcium, your magnesium, your vitamin D, your CoQ10. You might travel with a month's supply if you're going on a long trip. And if you dump multiple powdered supplements into one big container to save space, congratulations, you now have a large container of unidentified white powder going through a CT scanner at an airport. I think you can imagine how that goes. The fix? Keep powdered supplements in their original containers. If you're bringing less than 12 ounces of any individual powder, there's no additional screening required. Just pack it in your carry-on normally. If you're bringing more than 12 ounces, keep it in its original labeled container and be prepared for additional screening. Better yet, if you're traveling for more than 2 weeks and need large quantities of supplements, consider shipping some ahead to your destination. UPS and FedEx deliver to hotels. It costs a few dollars but saves you from the screening nightmare. Or, and this is the lazy genius option, switch to pill form supplements for travel. That fiber powder, they make it in capsules. That electrolyte mix, they make it in tablets. A little planning goes a long way. Okay, number 1 on this list is the mistake that catches more seniors than any other. It's so common that TSA officers at major airports deal with it dozens of times per day. And the worst part, the people getting caught genuinely believe they're doing the right thing. Here it is. The number 1 reason seniors get their medications flagged, delayed, or confiscated at TSA checkpoints in 2026 is the weekly pill organizer. You know the ones, Monday through Sunday, each day has a little compartment, and you pre-sort all your medications for the week. It's a brilliant system at home, but at the airport, it's a nightmare. Here's what TSA sees when your pill organizer goes through the CT scanner. A rectangular container with 7 to 14 compartments, each filled with a different mix of multicolored pills and capsules, none of which have any identifying labels. The scanner can't tell what they are, the officer can't tell what they are, and you might not even be able to tell them what every single pill is because your spouse sorted them, or your pharmacy pre-packed them, and you just take the morning ones and the evening ones. And listen, I am not blaming anyone for this. Pill organizers are one of the best tools for managing complex medication schedules. My concern isn't with the organizer itself, it's with traveling through airport security with only the organizer and nothing else. Here's the solution, and this is the 30-second fix I promised you at the beginning. Bring your pill organizer. That's fine, TSA does not prohibit pill organizers. But also bring the original prescription bottles for every medication inside that organizer. Put the bottles in a separate clear bag. A gallon-sized Ziploc works perfectly. You don't have to take the pills out of the organizer and put them back in the bottles. Just have the bottles available so that if a TSA officer asks, "What's this blue pill in the Wednesday slot?" you can hold up the bottle and say, "That's my lisinopril for blood pressure. Here's the label." That clear bag of original bottles is your insurance policy. It proves that every pill in that organizer has a legitimate prescription in your name from a licensed pharmacy. Without it, you're asking a TSA officer to take your word for it. And in 2026, with the new CT scanners flagging everything, that's a gamble you shouldn't take. One more alternative, some pharmacies now offer blister packs where each dose is individually sealed and labeled with the medication name, your name, the date, and the dosage. If your pharmacy offers this, it's the gold standard for travel. Each pack is its own label. No confusion, no questions. Okay, let's bring this all together with a checklist you can screenshot and keep in your phone. Here's everything you need to do before you fly. Item 1. Keep ALL medications in original labeled containers. Yes, even the Tylenol, even the ibuprofen, original bottle, original label. Item 2. Carry a doctor's letter for all prescription medications. Include your name, the medication dosage, and a statement that it's medically necessary. One letter can cover all your medications. Item 3. If you use a pill organizer, ALSO, bring the original bottles. Put them in a separate clear bag on top of your carry-on. Item 4. Declare all liquid medications and medical supplies before screening. Say the magic words, "I have medically necessary liquids in my carry-on bag." 10 words, practice them right now. Item 5. Keep ALL medications in your carry-on. Never check medications, never. Not even as a backup supply. Everything goes in the carry-on. Item 6. For international travel, check medication laws in every country you'll visit, including layover countries. The US Embassy website for each country is your source. Not Google, not a travel blog, the embassy website. Item 7. If you carry CBD, make sure it's clearly labeled as hemp-derived with less than 0.3% THC, and don't bring it on international flights. Item 8. For powdered supplements over 12 ounces, keep them in original containers, or switch to pill form versions for travel. Item 9. Call TSA Cares before your trip. This is TSA's free helpline specifically for travelers with medical conditions and disabilities. Call 855-787-2227 at least 72 hours before your flight. They will note your medical needs in the system and arrange for a TSA officer to assist you through the screening process. It's free. It's specifically designed for situations exactly like this, and almost nobody uses it. That number again, 855-787-2227 TSA Cares. Call them, use them. That's what they're there for. Now, I know this video might feel overwhelming. 7 medications, all these rules, CT scanners, declarations, doctor's letters, it sounds like a lot. But here's the reality. Once you do this once you set up your travel medication kit with the original bottles, the doctor's letter, and the clear bag, you're done. You pack it the same way every time. It becomes second nature. Like putting on your seatbelt, you don't think about it, you just do it. So here's what I need you to do right now, before you forget. Take out your phone, take a screenshot of the checklist I just showed you. Then call your doctor's office and ask for a medication travel letter. It takes them 5 minutes to write. Most offices will do it at no charge. And if your next trip is more than a month away, you have plenty of time. And please share this video with your travel companion, your spouse, your friend who's going on that cruise next month, your sister who takes 8 medications and still packs them all in a sandwich bag. I say that with love, but we all know somebody who does it. If you want to see the new airport rules that changed in 2026, I covered all of them right here in this video. I'll see you there.